Are you worried your baby isn't getting enough milk? You're worried their supply is dropping or your baby's not getting enough? Those are very valid concerns, and most parents have them when breastfeeding. But let's walk you through the ways to make sure that your baby's getting enough. And if not, what are some ways to improve that milk supply? Stay tuned. Hi everyone, I'm Jen. I'm the nurse practitioner and IBCLC and mom of 3. Today we're going to talk about increasing your milk supply. Make sure you even need to increase your milk supply and the evidence-based strategies to get there. There are some newborn behaviors that make you think you have a low supply, which are actually completely normal. Let's go through them. Number 1, cluster feeding, especially in the evenings. Your baby might want to eat a lot, and that's okay. That prepares them to sleep longer and longer night stretches, and so it's not a bad thing. Number 2 is wanting to nurse more frequently. That could be every 1 to 2 hours, especially during the day. That's when it's ideal because then you can hopefully get some better sleep at night. That can happen if your baby wants to increase your supply naturally, or if they're just taking those snacking feedings, which we can talk about in another video. Number 3 is fussiness of the breast, which can be really frustrating. They can be gassy, they could be trying to deal with a fast flow, or they could be frustrated in between letdowns. So those are some reasons that there could be some frustration and fussiness of the breast. Number 4, short naps between feedings. Babies aren't known to sleep very long. They get startled very easily. They have very short sleep cycles anyway. Number 5, acting hungry after nursing. Now, some babies are just oral creatures and they want to suck for comfort. That could be with an air bubble in their stomach. It could be with a dirty diaper. It could just be that they're overtired and they just want to keep sucking. They think, oh my gosh, you just have to keep feeding your baby because they keep rooting and rooting and rooting. Maybe offer a pacifier and see if they just need to calm down for a minute. Sometimes it's our normal breast changes that make us think that we have a low supply. And that could be for a number of reasons, including having your breast feeling softer after the first few weeks. This is actually good. It means the engorgement has finally gone. It could be that you're not leaking as much over time. And that's great because, again, your milk is regulating, which is much more comfortable and less embarrassing if you're going out in public. And number 3, difficulty pumping very much milk. Now, they're tricky. Some parents just don't respond well to a pump because there's not that natural hormone release. And so don't be discouraged if you're not able to pump as much as you think you should, even though your baby's probably getting plenty. Here are the real signs of a low milk supply. Number 1, not regaining your birth weight by 2 weeks. Ideally, they're gaining about an ounce a day, which seems like a lot, but it's what they need to do in order to regain their birth weight. Number 3, dropping percentiles on the growth charts. So we don't want to see that curve that should be very even and following a lovely curve drop. That's when we get nervous. There could be fewer diapers in the mix. So having fewer dirty diapers, we like 5 to 6 every day of the dirty diapers in a 24-hour period. Or it could be dark and concentrated urine. If you notice that you're not having a baby peeing with just about every single feeding, then that's something to be concerned about. If your baby seems lethargic, you can't get your baby to wake up for a feeding no matter what you try. Or they just get on and they comfort and they fall right back to sleep, and you don't feel like your baby has been able to get a full feeding for a couple feedings in a row. That's a sign that we need to take a look at what's going on. Or then never seems satisfied after a long nursing session and just wants to suck, and you can't put their baby down, and as soon as you lay them down, then they scream. Remember that breastfeeding is a calorie game. Your calories make energy. Energy is what gives the baby the ability to suck more and get those bigger feedings. If we don't have enough calories, your baby doesn't have the energy to feed well. If your breasts never feel full, especially in the first 2 weeks when your breast supply is finally regulating, and you just never feel like you have a full breast, even after feeding, you be concerned about. Your milk production works on a supply and demand principle. So no matter what you take out, that's how much your body is going to put back in as it makes more milk. It's a feedback loop. Okay, so there are 5 ways to increase your supply. So number 1, we want to optimize feeding frequency and effectiveness. That means we want anywhere from 8 to 12 is ideal. Don't watch the clock. Follow your baby's cues. If your baby starts to root on their blankets or their hands, it's time to feed your baby. Improve your milk transfer. Ensure your proper latch. Try different positions. consider seeing a lactation consultant for latch assessment and address any possible tongue ties that might be causing a transfer issue. Those are some typical things that can be assessed by your pediatrician or lactation consultant. Power pumping. So power pumping can increase your production by having more and more stimulation. It means taking an hour of time and you're pumping every 10 minutes, 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off while you're watching your favorite Netflix show. That can stimulate those hormones and that body to say, oh, we've got a really hungry baby. We've got to kick it in. If you need to do some hands-on pumping, that would help by using your hands in a very gentle way and using those hands to express while you pump or while your baby's feeding. That will help get that milk to flow a little bit faster and a little bit more complete to drain that breast a little bit better. Galactagogues. You might have heard of oral supplements that you can do for increasing your supply. And there's some common ones that you might want to try. Fenugreek is the most common, most studied, but it can affect your blood sugar. So be aware if you're diabetic. And some moms don't tolerate with stomach issues. So you can try it. It's the most researched and it works pretty well. You will start smelling like maple syrup. But if that doesn't bother you, it might be worth trying out. The next one is one of my favorites, and it's moringa. Moringa might work great, and you might not need any other supplement than that. Blessed thistle is also another one. Goat's rue is also a good one, and milk thistle. And try any of those, a combination or whatnot. You can usually find those on Amazon or your local Whole Foods. Next, we want to talk about making sure that you're getting the best nutrition. In addition to herbs, nutrition is great. If you eat oats every day for breakfast, that's a huge boost. Those whole grains are going to help you with your milk production in an amazing way. Brewer's yeast, if you put a little brewer's yeast in your oats and you put some chia seeds and flax, great. You just made a power-packed breakfast for you for every day while you're on your breastfeeding journey. If you can decrease your stress and increase your sleep, that's one of the best ways to increase your milk production. Your body can't do what it's supposed to do when it's in that stress state. So doing your best to get some rest, have your partner take turns, have a visitor give you a nap. Don't just sit there and visit with them the whole time. Take advantage. Take advantage of the time they're offering and get that nap. If you're exclusively pumping, make sure to get at least 8 good pumping sessions in a 24-hour period. Do not skip the nights. Do at least one good night pump within 4 hours. So get some good sleep when you can, but don't go all night or your supply will not be to the fullest that it can be. Also making sure that you get your hands involved with the pump and use a hospital grade pump if you can. If your supply is still being established, it can be established for the first 6 weeks of your journey. Skin to skin contact with your baby. That's going to get your hormones so happy. And your body's going to say, we need to feed this sweet baby that's laying on us. So get that skin to skin in there, making sure that you eat enough calories. There's about 300 to 500 more calories in a day than you were before you were pregnant. So pre-pregnancy calories. You also want to stay hydrated. I usually recommend something with electrolytes at least once a day. Remember that some people just produce more milk naturally than others, and that's okay. Our goal is to meet your baby's demands, not exceed them. Anything extra if you want, that's great. Put it in the freezer if you need to. But we don't want an oversupply, and we want to do it in a gradual, natural way. So what should you expect as far as timing when you're doing all these things to try to increase your milk supply? It usually takes 3 to 7 days before you notice a big difference from just extra pumping and extra feedings. If you're adding the herbal supplements to your diet, then that can be 1 to 2 weeks before you'll see the full effect. So don't be discouraged. Keep going, keep going, keep going. You've got this. Your worth is not determined on your ability to create milk. And combination feeding is just fine. A fed baby is the best baby. If you have concerns, please reach out to a lactation consultant or drop me a comment below. I read each and every one of them. Increasing your supply is important when it's needed. But again, most often it's not needed and we just need that reassurance to continue your journey. I'm here for you and I'll see you next time.